Initiating FTL jump to the Meridia system.
Hey, Helldivers. We're diving into one of the most pivotal moments of the Second Galactic War, the fall of Meridia. Through completely intentional and flawlessly executed strategy, Meridia became the example of why we never underestimate the bugs. Let's go over what totally didn't go wrong. At the start of the war, the Terminid outbreak was spiraling out of control. To keep the bugs contained, Super Earth's scientists developed the Terminid Control System, or TCS, a planet-wide extermination network meant to wipe out the infestation on key barrier planets in the Umlaut sector. The idea? Quarantine the bugs behind these planets and make sure Super Earth stayed safe from future incursions. One of those key planets was Meridia. Enter Operation Valiant Enclosure, a major order calling on Helldivers to build, stock, and activate the TCS across all barrier planets.
Good evening, I'm your host, Coretta Kelly. Today, fighting against the Terminids was bolstered by the arrival of the Helldivers, marking the start of Operation Valiant Enclosure. According to the Ministry of Defense, the Terminids will be safely quarantined once more by the end of the month. With fighting on two fronts, this will be the largest Helldiver mobilization since the First Galactic War. That's Liberty's latest. I'm Coretta Kelly.
Helldivers showed up in force, as they always do, and the plan worked. With the TCS up and running, 99.6% of the Terminids' population on those planets were exterminated. The barrier was set, and Super Earth could finally breathe easy. For a while.
Freedom's greetings. I'm your host, Coretta Kelly. With termicide dispersion towers now installed across the barrier planets, the Helldivers have begun operations to fully activate the Terminid control system. The termicide is reportedly proving extremely effective, with experts saying the benefits to the local ecology far outweigh the loss of some native species.
But then came Meridia. Unlike other barrier planets, something went wrong on Meridia. Some Terminids survived. Not only survived, but they started multiplying up to 20 times faster than before. Within hours, Meridia was completely overrun, earning the designation of a super colony, rivaling even the Terminids' homeworld population.
Freedom's greetings. I'm Coretta Kelly. New updates on the backfiring of the TCS in the Meridia system. Here's the latest. A preliminary investigation by the Ministry of Science reveals that the termicide initially worked, quote, as intended, eliminating 99.6% of the Terminid population on all barrier planets. However, on Meridia, some of the remaining Terminids not only survived, but actually began reproducing up to 20 times faster than before. Scientists are now calling the planet a Terminid, quote, super colony. The mutations caused by the termicide appear to be random, but according to the report, it is only a matter of time before the same reaction appears on the rest of the barrier planets. The Helldivers may be in a race against time to deactivate the TCS before this occurs. In other news, the disgraced scientists who developed the termicide have been taken into custody and are to be investigated for dissident infiltration. That's Liberty's latest. I'm Coretta Kelly.
The Ministry of Science had no choice. A new major order was issued. Shut down the TCS on all barrier planets immediately before more super colonies could form. Meridia, they deemed it a total loss. With the barrier planets now under control, Helldivers turned their attention to Meridia. The new mission? Contain Meridia before it could spread further. Scientists turned to dark fluid, a mysterious and highly volatile illuminate technology recovered during the First Galactic War. The plan was simple: drop massive quantities of it on Meridia, trigger an implosion, and erase the problem from existence. Helldivers deployed to key locations across the planet, and once enough dark fluid was in place, Meridia collapsed into a black hole. Mission accomplished. Super Earth was safe once again.
Well done. One step closer to turning this planet we're orbiting into a black hole.
Initiating FTL jump to Super Earth.
The crew was forced to initiate an emergency warp without your authorization in order to protect Super Earth's investment in this vessel. Meridia is destroyed at last. The threat of the Terminids is vastly diminished, but we cannot rest. The Galactic War is far from over.
Freedom's greetings. I'm your host, Coretta Kelly. Today, spontaneous military parades broke out across the galaxy, celebrating the destruction of the Meridian supercolony. Thanks to the courageous efforts of the Helldivers, the planet Meridia was successfully collapsed into a black hole, destroying the supercolony and its mutated strain of Terminids. Concerns of unforeseeable impacts from the use of dark fluid have proved largely unfounded, experts say, with only minor space-time distortions observed in the areas surrounding the singularity. Terminid spread has been vastly reduced following the planet's destruction, and efforts are now underway to develop a new and improved termicide formula. I'm Coretta Kelly.
The Meridian black hole did its job, pulling in surrounding Terminid spores and preventing further outbreaks. With Meridia gone, Helldivers turned their attention to other threats across the galaxy. For a while, all was quiet on the Terminid front. But months later, something changed. FTL travel to Meridia was suddenly disrupted. The Ministry of Science made a shocking discovery. Meridia was no longer a black hole. They were now calling it the Meridian Singularity. It was moving and heading straight for Super Earth. To make matters worse, the Illuminate were back. They had been siphoning dark fluid for their own sinister purposes, accelerating the Singularity's movement.
Good evening. I'm your host, Coretta Kelly. Further evidence reveals how the Illuminate used the Meridian Singularity to enable their return. The destruction of the Terminid supercolony earlier this year appears to have created a wormhole, which the Illuminate were able to use to force entry into our galaxy. Experts speculate that following the end of the First Galactic War, Illuminate refugees fled outside the Milky Way, trapping themselves in intergalactic space. Until now. An investigation is underway to determine if the scientists responsible for the development of the dark fluid bombs used to destroy the supercolony were secretly under Illuminate mind control the entire time.
Soon, entire planets were at risk. Moridesh and Angel's Venture were the first to fall. A new solution was needed fast. To stop the singularity, the Ministry of Science designed the Penrose Energy Siphon. Through a series of emergency major orders, Helldivers were tasked with deploying the Siphon, a device capable of slowing and eventually halting the Meridian singularity. The final operation, aptly named Operation Apocalypse Cancelled, was a success. The Penrose Energy Siphon worked, and for now, the singularity was no longer a threat. But if history has taught us anything, it's that peace never lasts forever. One thing is certain, the Second Galactic War is far from over.